everybody. So I thought I would do like weekly reading vlogs during my vacation, and it's currently July 8th. It is Monday, and you know, like first real day on vacation if you will. So I thought I would tell you guys what I'm planning to read this week. I don't want it to like decide way too much because I want to have some options, but I have two books that I really want to read, one of which I'm quite far ahead, one I've read quite far in already, and my goal is to finish that one. But let's get to the books. So the book I'm currently reading is Mockingjay by Susan Collins. This is a reread. It's like fourth or fifth time I read it, but it's the first time in English, and as every time I read this book I really do love it. It's definitely my least favorite book in the series, but it's still pretty darn good. This book is 390 pages I believe, and a little bit left. I am on page, let me check, I'm on page 310, so I have about 80 pages left, and it's really good so far. And I'm really like getting to the part where, you know, shit is going down, because I mean they are wrapped up in the rebellion and now they're just trying to win the war pretty much. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to finish this one today, quite soon, I hope. And then the second book I've actually decided on is Never Seen, which is book 4 in Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. And I love this series so much. I finished reading book 3 in the series a few days ago, and I just really want to throw myself head over heels into this book because it's so good, and it definitely ended with somewhat of a cliffhanger, and I just want to know what's going to happen. This book is so chunky, and the third book was as well, but I just flew through it completely, and I loved it, and this is so different. And I mean, it's a middle grade book, so of course it's fast paced and stuff, but still kind of dark at points for being a middle grade, I mean. But I love the characters, love the magic system and everything like that. And we meet this girl named Sophie Foster, and she actually finds out that she is not human because she's an elf, and then she gets introduced to the elf world, or the elven world, is that how you call it? And she finds out that she has different like powers and abilities, and it's just a lot of magic and really cool like animals, and they have like this sanctuary for different like extinct animals. They are extinct in the human world, but in the elven world they have even dinosaurs and unicorns and alicorns and whatever you want. So it's really cool, and I really love that so much, and I want to like read this entire series like back to back to back in a day. It wouldn't be possible, but I wish I could. So yeah, those are the books I am focusing on. Definitely finishing Mockingjay hopefully today, and then this one I think I will fly through as well. And then I'm going to listen to my audiobook, which is book 3 in the, what's it called, Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. We're listening to that one as well. I'm listening to Dragon Reborn, which is the third book like I said, but I'm listening to it in Swedish. I'm not completely sold on that series, but I really do need to listen to all of it so that I can read the like 3 books I think that is written by Brandon Sanderson, if you want to, you know, stay true to my goal and actually read all of the Brandon Sanderson books there are. So far not too shabby, but I'm definitely lagging behind. I'm going to try to, I mean, I got the flu last week, and I've definitely been feeling a little bit shaky from that even now when it's been like 8 days. But I just really want to work out. I'm going crazy without the workout, and I can't sleep because I just don't like move around enough, so I really want to work out. We'll see if I feel good enough to do that. Right now I kind of feel like I do, so we'll see. And I might like ride my bike and do some exercise there, and maybe some like other like more strength exercises as well, but we'll see about that. But yeah, I think I'm going to read a little bit more in Mockingjay, and then after that I'm going to try to record some videos. I have some book reviews I want to do. I want to do like, these are all the books I've read so far video, and also I think like an update of my reading goals for the year. because I feel like that would be good to do, because I'm not really sure how it's going, honestly. Definitely feel like I'm lagging behind on most of it, but I mean, that would just be on brand for me, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to read some and then we're gonna record. I'm back. I haven't really read that many pages, like 8 pages, but I mean, there's so many people dying in this book, and one of which I really like, and I'm gonna cry. Like, I know he was going to die in this book, because I mean, I've read this book 1,000 times, but it just gets to me every time. And you know, it's like one of those moments where you just want to like scream to them and tell them, don't do that, do this and that, and just and you know, they're not gonna listen, because let's face it, it's a book, it's not a real character, it's not a real person. But oh, it's so hard. I still want to cry. I mean, it's just, I mean, you all probably read this book already, but if you haven't, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I really like his character, and he keeps on dying on me. So it's really hard. So yeah, I think I'll cry. But yeah, it was pretty gruesome way to go. But yeah, I'm gonna try to finish this book now, but I might cry in the process, because it's too damn hard. Okay, I seriously need to stop talking about it, because I seriously might cry, because I feel it's coming up. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading. Gosh. Stupid trucks. Hi. So, oh my god. I ended up finishing Mockingjay, and I will talk about that a little bit later, but I actually just emptied my mailbox, and the books I had hoped would get here actually got here. So I ordered some things from Book Depository. So I have 2 of these. It's really be hard to hold them up both. So just gonna open and see what's in there. The first one is actually one of the most anticipated releases of this entire year. And it's Deviate by J. Kristoff. Oh my god, look, it's so beautiful. So this is the second book in the Lifelike trilogy series. I have no idea. That's so bright. And I love the first book so much, and I just wanted to read this like right away. I feel like I don't need to read Never Seen Now. I want to read this. Although I think I need to read like a spoiler review or something before I read this, or possibly reread Life. Like, I can't really decide. I mean, you definitely fall more for the characters if you reread the first book, but it's so beautiful. I love it. Oh, I really want to read it. I'll have to wait on the decision. But the first book, we meet this girl named Evie, and she actually fights with these sort of robots on this arena. But while doing so, she accidentally shows for the entire world pretty much that she has abilities that she's not really supposed to have, and the government send people after her, and on her way to like her home where she wants to get her grandpa, and before fleeing she actually meets this guy named Ezekiel, and he turns out to be a lifelike, which is sort of like a robot, but it's so human looking that you can't really tell it's a robot unless you cut it open, and shit goes down from there. And now I really do want to read the first one. I really feel like it would give me a lot more, but yeah, it's so gorgeous. Oh, I'm so hyped about this one. It's seriously one of my most anticipated releases. The first book was so good. Me and Jamie fangirled over it for weeks afterwards. So I need to read this. And as usual, you get a little bookmark. And this one says, I'm reading from cover to cover. It lacks pages. So that's pretty funny. And paper. And then we're going to open the next one, which I'm really excited about as well. Whoa, look at it. It's so big. This is The Chosen by Tara Matthew. I think the series is called The Contender or Contender. And I mean, there's supposed to be like dinosaurs in this book, and that's pretty much all I know. But this is a new series by Tara Matthew, and I love the Summoner series by him, and I completely like devoured it. So I'm really interested in what's going to happen in this book. And yeah, I really need to read this one too. Another one of these books more look exactly the same. But yeah, I think I need to like decide what to do about the reading situation here, because I did start Never Seen after finishing Mockingjay, but now I might need to reread Lifelike instead. I don't really know. But right now I'm going to go change because I'm going to try to do my first workout since the flu. So I'm going to ride my bike a few kilometers and see how I feel, and then maybe do some push-ups or whatever afterwards. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, but I really want to read Lifelike and Deviate. Oh my god, the troubles, because I really want to read The Chosen as well. What to do? What to do? So I have to ponder that while riding my bike. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys later on with sort of conclusive thoughts of what I thought about my reread of Mockingjay, and then I'll also tell you guys maybe a little bit about the few pages I read in Never Seen. I read like, I think it was 38 pages, so I might have some thoughts about that. But other than that, I'm just gonna tell you guys what my reading plans are, because now everything is changed, I feel like. But yeah, I'm stripes. But yeah, I'm gonna go change and go work out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hi, so I've been out riding my bike and just showered, so that's why my hair looks like I don't know what. But I thought I would summarize my thoughts about Mockingjay, and also I've got company right over there. But yeah, this is definitely not my favorite book in the series. It's actually my least favorite, but I still think it's pretty darn good. There's a lot of shit happening. There's a lot of rebellion stuff going on. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's also a lot of death and gore and just blech, gross stuff. But it's so eventful, and there's shit happening all the time. Although I do find Katniss a little bit annoying in this book, because she's a little bit like, I mean, she's really like unselfish on some aspects, but on some other things she's really selfish. You guys probably know what I mean if you read it. But I really enjoyed it overall. It's definitely a very solid series, and yeah, I really liked it. And then I also read about 38 pages in Never Seen. This is the 4th book in Keeper of the Lost City series, and it just takes up exactly where the 3rd book ended, and they're supposed to go away on this sort of like mission, if you will, and not a lot has happened so far in this book, but they're in the Forbidden City, and I'm feeling shit is about to go down, because there is shit happening in these books all the time, so I'm really psyched about it. But after having started this, I checked my mailbox, as you guys know, and I got Deviate and The Chosen, and I really liked Deviate's, like the first book called Lifelike, and you know, I was debating on whether or not I should reread it. Should I continue reading Never Seen? Should I go directly into the Deviate? And I chose to read Lifelike because I love this book so much, and it's just a quick read, and it's only like 398 pages, so I feel like I should be able to read it quite quickly. And like I said, I love this book so much, and I just want to remember all of the little details and little tidbits. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to read Deviate, and then after that, I'll be back to Never Seen, and hopefully I will be able to read like all of these books this week. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, my goal is to finish this one by tomorrow so I can read Deviate afterwards. It's gonna be awesome. But I like this story so much, and my favorite characters are definitely Cricket and Lemon Fresh, so it's going to be really fun to read about them again. So yeah, I'm really psyched. So now I'm gonna read. You guys, so it's currently Tuesday, it's July 9th, which is, you know, the second day of this reading vlog. So I thought I would give you guys some updates. So I think I told you guys that I decided on rereading Lifelike, and I'm loving it so far. I haven't gotten like that far. I think I'm on page 54, so I just barely made a dent in it, honestly. But I mean, it's so good, and my favorite characters are definitely Lemon Fresh and Cricket. And I haven't got very far. Like, I mean, was on the robot fight part, which it starts with, and then they just got home to her grandpa after finding the lifelike called Ezekiel. That's pretty much just happened, all of that, and that was pretty much like the description of the book. So yeah, I haven't got very far, but I'm loving it. And like cricket and lemon fresh, like I mean lemon fresh, you get an explanation for the name, I promise you. But it's just like cricket. He's this little robot, and he's like really mismatched and like not really, like his body parts doesn't really go together very well, so it's a little bit, you know, unsymmetrical, if you will. But he's so like sarcastic, and he's like comments, and he's just hilarious, and I love him. And then Lemon Fresh as well. I mean, she's like so like, I don't know, sassy really, and she's so funny, and like yeah, I love them so much. They're definitely my favorite characters, and you do get a lot of them in the book, so that's awesome. So yeah, I'm really enjoying my reread with this one, and this is the book I will continue reading right now. I'm watching a booktube video actually from A Dash of Ash, so I'm gonna finish that. It's actually a reading vlog, ironically enough. But yeah, then I'm gonna read this because I really want to finish this today, which I find will be a little bit hard, so they get further than like 54 pages. But we'll see how it goes. And then last night, my boyfriend actually fell asleep before me, which is unusual, but I'm on vacation, so I fall asleep a little bit later, and he's not. So yeah, I didn't really want to wake him up, so I read my e-reader, and I had forgotten, but now I realized again that I do have Never Seen on my e-reader as well. So I actually continue reading this one. So I mean, I feel a pretty good job since I'm reading both the books I was supposed to read at the same time, pretty much. So I ended up reading 68 pages in this one. I mean, it is a middle grade book, so it's a really quick read. But I'm still surprised there are 68 pages because I felt like I didn't read for that long. But yeah, I've definitely gotten a little bit way through this one because now I'm on page 106, and I mean this book is over 600 pages. I think it's almost 700. I don't even remember. It's 672, so it's quite a long book, but I'm definitely flying through it, and I feel like now they're on their mission. Shit is about to go down. They're supposed to like rescue this person. I don't want to spoil anything. They're supposed to rescue this person, and I feel like shit is about to get very real very soon. So yeah, I'm really loving this book so far, as I have with all of the books in this series. So yeah, this might be my like nightly read instead for a little while. For now, I'm just gonna finish watching this video, which was like, I think it's like 10 minutes left or something, and I'm gonna read Lifelike. So I'm pretty comfortable out here on the balcony. Are you, Loonies? Loons. Look at her, got in a chair all by herself. She's so spoiled and she knows it. But she deserves it. What did you see, Loonies? Luna. You'll ruin the net. That's not good. I'm on page 117 so far, and I'm loving this book so much, and I definitely remember more and more every page I turn, and I feel like it's just so different from anything ever, and I love it. And it just, now we're coming to a point where Evie starts to remember a little bit stuff that happened when she was like 2 years ago, I think, and get a little bit flashbacks, and it's all just coming back to me. I feel like I'm reliving it with her. But it's so good, and I love it, and I'm flying through it. But while I was reading this, I also, for the last few days, kind of felt like rereading another one of my favorite books. You might be able to guess which one it is because I've read it like 50 billion times. But I want to read Harry Potter, and I did read The Sorcerer's Stone in a reading vlog like 2-3 months ago, and I never continued on, and I really do want to because I mean it's so thin. It's like 340 pages, Chamber of Secrets. So I really want to read this. But I also read to read, you know, Lifelike, and then read Deviate, and then read Neverseen. I don't know how to handle this, but I feel like I can probably finish a lot of books this month, so I might try to read them all. Question is just which order. But yeah, back to reading. So I just read a little bit further in Lifelike. I'm currently on page 171, so I mean about halfway through almost, and I love Cricket so much. He's so funny. He's one of the like robot things, whatever they call him, Logic I think they call him, but he's so funny, and they have this sort of running joke here, he and Evie, the main character, about him like putting stuff in his pants, but he doesn't actually have pants, so it's really funny. But at this point it's just hilarious, and I just wanted to read like a sort of little excerpt from the conversation, like in the middle of a freaking crisis, and it's so funny. Okay. Which way do we go? Cricket patted his spindly hips. I think I left my Kraken map in my other pants. I'm supposed to point out you're not wearing pants now, right? Cricket clutched his bobblehead in mock horror. I've been naked this whole time and no one told me. He's so funny, I love him. I definitely feel like he and Lemon Fresh are like really funny, and Cricket is so like, I mean, there's been more books with robots and stuff in it, obviously, but I feel like he has just such a personality, and you can't help but love him, and he makes me laugh so much. I love Cricket. Cricket is the best. He's actually like my favorite character in this book. Yeah, and he's not even like an actual real person, but I don't care. I love him. Hi, so it is Wednesday now, and I didn't end up like updating you guys last night, but I thought I would do so right now. But it's July 10th currently, and I didn't actually manage to finish Lifelike. I don't know what happened, because I feel like the only thing I did yesterday was read, but I did go quite far, because I'm on page 278, which means that I read 224 pages in this book last night, which is kind of good, you know, and I really love it so far. And right now they're like, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's so much action going on, and they just have to like regroup, and let's just say they want to find out more about Evie's past. And it's so kick-ass, it's so funny, and they're so freaking badass, and I just want to finish this one so I can move on to Deviate, so I can find out what happens next. But yeah, I know I'm in for a lot of kick-ass stuff very soon, but since my boyfriend is still working and on vacation, he would slip for me again, so I actually ended up reading Neverseen again on my e-reader. I've gotten a little bit further into it now. I ended up reading 64 pages, and so pretty much have one day book and one night book. So I don't really know how I read like over 60 pages every night, because it doesn't feel like I'm reading for that long, but apparently I am, and I'm really liking it so far. So far, technically not a lot has happened in this particular book, but I feel there's like a very big build up for something to come, and they've shared like their plans of what to do, and I feel like that could lead to a shitload of trouble and shit going down. So yeah, really liking it so far. Yeah, but I'm going to go see my parents a little bit today, so that Luna can go out running on her own, and that's like, I don't know, 2.5 hours maybe. So I really want to get as much read in this as possible, because I probably won't be reading a lot today then. So I mean, like, so far I think overall the reading is going very well, because Monday I read I think 304 pages plus listen to 40 minutes of audiobook, and yesterday I read 288 pages. So I mean, I'm almost around like the 300 mark like every time. So I mean, that's pretty good, and I wish I would be able to read this much today, but Probably not, since I'm not gonna be home for big parts of the day. But yeah, that does not mean that I'm not gonna try. But yeah, very good reading overall each day. So we'll see how it goes. But now I have to go read. Hi everybody, so it's Thursday, it's July 12th. I didn't really update a lot yesterday because, well, I wasn't really home. So I ended up being able to read a couple of pages in Lifelike before I needed to go to my parents, and didn't end up finishing it, but I did read like 50 pages possibly, something like that. And then I was at my parents and I read like 5 pages or something. So I didn't really read a lot. But when I get home again, I managed to finish Lifelike and it was so good. I mean, I love reading books, but I also like always very afraid that I won't like them as much as I did the first time. That like I've read so many books since reading that I don't really think it's up to par anymore. I don't know how you guys feel. Are you afraid of that, or do you just not reread books, or do you reread books? Let me know down below. But it was just so good, and the plot twist, I mean, I remember the plot twist just because it was so huge, but it was just such a good read and action packed, and I love the characters. Cricket is still my favorite character, I have to say, really is. But I love Lemon Fresh as well, and it's just so different from everything I've read before, and just the plot twist once again, they're so good, and it's so hard to predict if you haven't already read the book. But I loved it just as much as the first time, and I just flew through it, and it was so freaking good. And now when I finish it, I can move on to Deviate. At least I want to know what happens. I really want to know. But I ended up reading 120 pages in this book yesterday, and then once again, I was reading on my e-reader last night because I couldn't fall asleep, and I read 62 pages in Never Seen, so apparently I read 60-ish pages in this one every night. So now I'm on page 232, so I'm actually making quite a lot of progress. Well, I'm not exactly halfway through, but I'm getting shit done. So, I mean, yeah, I really like this book so far. It's really, like, interesting, and now shit is about to happen. Shit has already happened, and it's so just, I don't know where it's heading, and it's awesome. And you just get to know the main characters like better, because you get to know their history a bit more, you get to know more about their childhood and stuff like that, and that's just, I feel like that just gives the character a lot more depth. And I love the characters because they're so sarcastic and kick-ass, and they're cool-ass powers, and it's awesome. So yeah, I will be continuing reading this at night so I can get through those pages. But yeah, since I finished Lifelike and I read 62 pages and Never Seen, I read 182 pages. So it wasn't quite up to the 200, 300 mark that I've done the previous days, but it's definitely still pretty darn good since I wasn't home for big parts of the day. So I'm really happy about that. But then last night I started reading Deviate by J. Kristoff because couldn't resist. So I started reading this as soon as I finished Lifelike, but I only got like 8 pages into it, and now before starting vlogging I read 2 pages. So I don't really know what's gonna happen. But this one picks up right where Lifelike ends, so it just continues, and I'm so interested in finding out what's gonna happen because I have no idea. Like, seriously, no idea. Like, there's some like threads I'd like them to like poke around in, but we'll see if they do that. But yeah, I have really high hopes for this book, so I'm so scared that it won't really live up to it. Hi, Lunch. Looney. Hi everybody! So I have been really bad at updating you guys, but I thought that I would tell you a little bit about how much I read yesterday, and also like what I'm thinking about Deviate, because I don't think I've told you guys that yet. So yesterday actually I did a lot of other stuff as well, but I did still manage to read quite a bit. So I read about 194 pages in Deviate. So now I am currently on page 202. So I'm almost halfway through. It's like 6 more pages or something like that, and then I'm halfway through. I really want to finish this one somewhat early today because I want to move on to my next book. The first book, Life Flag, actually takes kind of like unexpected turn of events in the end, and it's sort of a cliffhanger and plot twist and everything wrapped up into one. And that definitely changes a lot of things, a lot of dynamics, a lot of things you thought would happen and vice versa. And you don't really know what's going to happen in this one, and you meet some new characters that I do really like, even though we don't really know them that well. So really hope we get to know more about their background and stuff like that. But also you have a lot of different point of views now. So it's a lot of angles, and they're not necessarily like in the same place at all times, which makes it so that maybe you find some characters more interesting than others. But it's definitely very eventful, very kick-ass, a little bit morbid. Definitely a lot of plot twists, and I'm really enjoying it so far, and I feel like the characters have definitely changed and evolved for, you know, the better. They take more initiative really, and they're more like can take care of themselves a little bit better, and you know, stuff like that. So I am really enjoying it so far. I don't really want to say what rating I'm thinking about giving it, because I'm only halfway through, not even that, almost halfway through. And yeah, I want to read this book so bad. And like I said, my plans are to finish this today, and then I want to continue reading Never Seen and hopefully get a big chunk of that one read as well. So we'll see how it goes, but I have currently 2 books that I'm halfway through. So I feel like I will be finishing a lot of books in the near future. I also ended up reading on my e-reader, so I read 70 pages in Never Seen. So now I'm pretty much halfway through this book as well. And I'm just flying through this one when I read it on my e-reader. Technically, I fly through it on my when I read physical as well, but yeah, I'm on page 302 at this point, and it's really good. So adding those things up, I read 264 pages, so it is in between 200 and 300, which is my goal for every day to read at least 200 pages. And also I listened to about 40 minutes of audiobook while working out and stuff, so it went pretty darn well. Hi, so I haven't read like a lot in Deviate. I'm on page 222, so I read like 20 pages, but some really unexpected turn of events, and it just gave me shivers, like honestly, up and down my arms, because it was just so unexpected and definitely not what I expected it to, you know, become, if you will. And it was just such an emotional scene, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just so like, it was perfect. I love the way J. Christoph writes his characters, and just his way of writing overall. It's so heartfelt, and he can definitely get the reader to feel exactly what he wants you to feel. And I want to know what's going to happen after, you know, the characters found this thing out. I want to know what's going to happen, and I want more background about it, and I want to know shit. But it was just so well written. I just wanted to tell you guys that. I have to keep reading now because I want to know what happens. Deviate is so good, guys. I'm on page 338 and emotions are running high. There was just some action going down, and now I'm so afraid for like everybody's life. And something I didn't want to happen, I think just happened, and everyone's really upset, and I feel like I'm gonna cry. Why are you doing this to us, Christoph? Why? You can't just kill people off. Emotions. I'm not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. So I just finished Deviate like 2 seconds ago, and I am so not okay. I mean, the book can't end like that. Like, it's the worst cliffhanger ever, and you don't know who's going to survive, and it's horrible, and I feel like I'm gonna cry, and it's so not okay. I need answers, and I need answers now, and I will have to wait for like an entire year for the next book, and it's so not okay. You can't end a book like that. It's not fair. Oh my god. God, I feel like I'm gonna cry. It's just so action-packed in the end, and you don't know what the hell is going on, and shit goes down, and everybody's fighting for their lives, and then it just ends with a boom, and you don't find out anything, and it's killing me. And it's just so not okay. It's so not okay. My babies. My babies. Oh my god. Why do authors have to end books like this? It's not okay. It's not fair. And I don't even know how many books is going to be in this series. It's definitely coming a third one. But I mean, on the cover it says series, not trilogy. So it should be more than 3 books, right? But we'll see. Now I just need to draw my sorrows in another book because I can't. So I was actually out walking with Luna about an hour ago. So I managed to read like 44 pages in Never Seen in during that time, so that was pretty awesome. So now I'm on 346 pages. I'm more than halfway through, and hopefully this book will help me not think of Deviate, because I think I just died a little bit on the inside. Like, seriously, I can't stop thinking about it. Like, what is it with authors and cliffhangers? Like, they should be forbidden. I think I need to cool down a little bit before I move on to the next book, but just so you guys know, I am not okay. I am not okay at all. This is just so not okay. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Hi, so it is currently Saturday now. It's July 13th, and I don't think I've updated anything today. But yeah, I finished reading Deviate last night, and it was so freaking good. I'll definitely give you more thoughts about that later on when I summarize this reading vlog. But since I finished that one, I've been reading a lot in Never Seen today. So I've read about 295 pages of this book today. So I mean, it's pretty chunky, but definitely a little bit left. So 75 pages left. My goal, I mean, the clock is quite a lot actually. She's like 10:30, but I'm definitely gonna try to finish this one today. I mean, I'm flying through it, and it's so like intense right now. I just want to know what happens. Hi, Loons. What you doing? Looney. She's become such a drama queen today. But yeah, I want to finish it, and it's like so interesting right now, and we're gonna introduce to new characters. They're on a mission. Shit is about to go down, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it. But yeah, I'm gonna read this one on my e-reader, you know, after lights out. But I also really wanted to start Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for like the billionth time, but I don't have this as an ebook, I believe, actually, which is weird. I should have it. But yeah, I want to start reading this one, and then when lights out, I would Never Seen. So hopefully I will get a chunk of this read, because I really want to finish this one by tomorrow, before the weekend is over, before this reading vlog is over, because that would mean I read a shitload of books, and I'm not even sure how many books it is yet, but it's pretty darn good, I'd say. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading this one, and I mean, I know I will love it, so don't really need a lot of thoughts about that. But yeah, I'm going reading right now. Hi, so it is Sunday, July 14th. It's actually the last day of this vlog. She's like 3:30 p.m. Last night I actually ended up finishing Never Seen, just like I wanted to. This was so freaking good. This is the 4th book in the Keeper of the Lost City series, and I freaking loved it so much. I love this series. It's like definitely becoming one of my favorite middle grade series, and the characters are so like amazing and dimensional, and it's like they just keep on growing, and there's so much action, and there's like so much shit going down, and this book honestly made me cry. I was so not like prepared to be like that emotional invested in some of the characters that we meet in this book, and it was just so hard. And it definitely ended with somewhat of a cliffhanger. So now I feel like I need to read book 5, but I think I need to wait with that a little bit because I've got other book I need to read. But yeah, I read a lot of pages in this one yesterday. I think I read like 370 pages in this one yesterday, so I did pretty darn good. And then I also ended up starting Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I read about 38 pages yesterday in it, and I love it, of course, because it's Harry Potter. And right now I'm about halfway through, because I'm on page 168 out of 341. Obviously I love Harry Potter, if you've seen, you know, my shelves. But it's just so good, and it's been a while since I read a physical copy, so it's just so much fun, and I'm flying through it. Love everything about it, even though this has always been my least favorite Harry Potter book. I don't know why. I mean, I love it obviously, but still always preferred all of the other books above this one. But yeah, flying through it. So my goal for today is definitely to finish this one. I come to you guys with a sort of a wrap up of this reading vlog, and I have to say it went pretty darn well because I ended up finishing all of the 5 books I wanted to finish. So the first book I ended up finishing was Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I had actually started this one before starting the reading vlog, but I ended up reading 144 pages of this book. This was a reread. I love it so much. It's definitely my least favorite of the trilogy, but I really do love it. It's very eventful and kick-ass, but at the same time very morbid and horrible. But I ended up giving this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I also ended up rereading Lifelike by J. Kristoff. Love this book. It's definitely one of my favorites of all time. It's so kick-ass. It is so like unexpected and different from anything I've ever read before. Ended up finishing this book, so I read all of the 398 pages of this book, and I ended up giving this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I also read Deviate by J. Kristoff because this is a new release from the end of June, so obviously I need to read this one as well when I've finished reading Lifelike. This is just as kick-ass and unpredictable and really freaking badass as the second book, and we get to meet some new characters that I really liked, and it's just so hard to predict, and I love this so much. And I read the entire book of this entire book, which resulted in 419 pages. I also read Never Seen by Samantha Shannon. This is the 4th book in Keeper of the Lost Cities series, and this is so good. I love this series so much, and it was just like so much feelings. It made me cry, and I flew through this book so quickly. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The entirety of this book, which resulted in 672 pages. Then the last book I read was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. I read this entire book, which resulted in 341 pages. This is a reread. I read this book like, I don't know, 30 times per maybe, probably, somewhere around there. This has always been my least favorite Harry Potter book, but I do still really love it. It's such a quick read. I love the characters, I love the world and everything like that. And I give it 5 out of 5 stars. Also actually listened to an audiobook, which I haven't talked about a lot. And I listened to 4 hours and 50 minutes of this book. Reading definitely went like beyond my expectations for sure. I mean, I did read some quite thick books,